You've arrived at the Groundbreaker.
Hey, be careful with those crates, huh? My car...
Hey there. Be seeing you.
Hey, bounty hunter. You're welcome here anytime. Assuming the nature of the incident is both sufficient cause for infraction and under our jurisdiction, I'll take your statement and open an investigation into the matter. Now then, what's happened?
Come on, boss, I told you. He was slandering my rangers.
You finally did it, huh? Good for you. Been a long time coming. You done hauling crates then?
My box hauling days are officially behind me. Say hello to Felix Millstone, spacer extraordinaire.
No takebacks. He's yours now.
Yep, we're stuck with each other. Like tumors on a cysty pig.
Now then, did you have anything else to report? Bit of a contradictory one, ain't you? Or were you making an ill-attempted joke? Well, I suppose it ain't a crime to change one's mind. You need me, you know where my offices are. Nothing at the moment. Not that I'm complaining.
I could start something if you want. Just say the word.
Look at my face, Felix. Do I look like I'm in a mood for your nonsense?
Does Felix cause trouble a lot, ma'am?
Constantly. Little Hellion's probably spent more time in lockup than he has in his own bunk.
Whoa, hey, now that is pure fabrication. I don't have a bunk.
Rizzo's mock apple cider. A hard cider for a hard.
We'll talk later. Got a bit of a sore throat from all that fake coughing.
Were I a gambling woman, I'd wager you're responsible for my mechanical safe return. I can't thank you enough. Keep hanging around and I'll begin to think you're here for me. What can I do for you? You have yourself a day then.
Your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
It's almost time for today's episode of The Chairman's Children. Care to listen with me? I've got a lovely little throw pillow. Just something I toss together. Like to keep my hands busy.
Voices.
Rizzo's Lemon Slap. Slap your whole family tonight. Rizzo's Purple Berry Cookies, featured vanilla flakes and purple berry flavored power nuggets. Now with 12% more crunch.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Remember Auntie Cleo? Because she remembers you. When you were sick, who took your temperature? When you were hungry, who gave you a needle full of love? Auntie Cleo, that's who. Have you given your auntie a hug today? You've been listening to Halcyon News, your mandated duty as a good citizen of Halcyon.
Somebody was trying to fix this up, but looks like they ain't been here in a long while. Poor old sweetie. Here we go!
Didn't the board rep's office used to be in the docking bays?
Yeah, about 10 years back. That was before. The news packet of the hospital's closed for the cars. On the rail glider championship.
It get cooler in here? I swear they had the heat turned way the hell up.
You mind trying to have a moment here? Yeah, I was called that once upon a day. You need something? Rufus and I are no longer on speaking terms. I don't know where he is, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you. You're telling me you're on a first-name basis with Ms. Tennyson? All right. I'm gonna take your word for it. Rufus is hiding out in Emerald Vale. Got a few friends with him. That's as much as I know. Please, just make it quick. That's right. Our marriage contract expired some months ago. And seeing how he's technically an outlaw, I wouldn't renew even if I wanted to. Precious little. He and Rufus worked together on the Groundbreaker some years back before he vanished. A few years later, Rufus gets a message from an old friend. Something about starting a revolution, something about getting rich. Abandoned his work and ran off that very day. Only that Rufus is in a bad way. He came to see me a little ways back. Said he had to go into hiding. Never asked why. He was here to collect his personals, complain about Harlow to me, and say goodbye. In that order. No, and he was particular about that. Said I was better off not getting entangled in his mess. Little late for that, says I. Appreciate it. No offense meant. Just been a long day is all.
We still going after Trask, boss? Yeah, boss?
Where are we headed?
That gas is going to make us a fucking mint. 120-some cubic meters of it, at 1,000,000 bits a pop. Take this. You've earned it. When we get buyers lined up, I'm gonna buy a gold toilet to shit in. You know what? Fuck it. Enjoy yourself. I invest in the happiness of my workers, and you deserve a bigger cut. Monarch isn't exactly a walk down the lanes of Byzantium. But here you are with all your limbs attached. Call me impressed, contractor. I guess you're just one of the lucky ones. Look on the bright side. You just started and you're already on the path to a promotion. You've been keeping busy. I hear you took on some extra work at Fallbrook. Catherine says the factory needs some repairs before it's back to working order, but at least it's under our control. Hey, when you were at the slaughterhouse, those swine didn't give you any strange looks, did they? I knew it. I'm probably getting worked up over nothing. Just try not to think about pigs. You never know, you know? I've got a lot on my mind, but it's nothing that concerns you. At least, not yet. I have another job lined up, assuming you're still interested in work. You're gonna salvage me a space station. Heliospheric Research Station 1084, to be exact. I want it. Cobwebs and all. Interested?
How big we talking? Not like groundbreaker big, right?
This opportunity won't come around again, Captain. Right now, it's only salvage on paper. Systems and comms have gone dark. Poke around if you're curious why. While the board lets 1084 gather dust, you're gonna swoop in and plant Sublight's flag. Perfectly legit, perfectly legal. Not this time. The board tolerates our business up to a point, and selling off a station full of their old gear and terminals crosses that point. But if we were to move in and commandeer the station as a Sublight salvage remote office, that's a different matter. Legally gray by comparison. More of a squatter situation. Here, this override bypass should get you into the station's systems where you can plant my flag. And one last thing. When you get there, make sure you aren't followed. We wouldn't want that. Glad we understand each other. I'm on the heels of something big. Play your cards right and I'll clue you in, but right now, I'm not sure who I can trust. Just be careful. Someone might try and use you to get to me. Don't forget about the research station. A score this big comes once a career, and only if you're lucky. No, of course not. Why? What have you heard? What did they tell you? Bullshit. If I kept a spreadsheet of my concerns, which I do, company loyalty wouldn't be on it, which it isn't. This is all very complicated, but you should watch out, in general. Don't trust anyone, including me. I'll say this. When you're on a job, if you find yourself confronted with something your mind can't quite process, don't try and fight it. You just run. Understand? That's good. With any luck, we won't need to bring this up again. No kidding. The board sure wanted that place kept secret, and not just because of the pricey salvage. Huh. That's new. When the board wants to experiment on colonists, they usually just release an exclusive line of products. Wow, that sounds spooky as fuck. And frankly, I'm a little jealous. Damn, now I've got to see that for myself. Morbid curiosity gets the better of me every time. It takes deep pockets to move a research staff off-world. I'd bet you my desk they were mixing more than just soft drink flavors. Be careful out there, contractor. Don't step on any toes unless you're ready for a fight. I'd like you to commandeer it on behalf of Sublight Salvage. Plant my company's flag, so to speak. We'll do the rest. My time's yours. Try not to waste it.
What? Guess it was nothing.
I'm going.
CCN 76 milk chocolate bar with caramel and pea-free nuts in it. It's time for a KYF.
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge?
I don't know if you should be listening to serials with Felix. They're gonna give you funny ideas about human-mechanical relationships that I won't explain. Come to see Sam? That was sweet of you. Here.
All right. She's on her way. How do I look? Oh, my hands have finally stopped shaking. All right, all right. Deep breath. Here I go.
We still going after Trask, boss?
Anyhow, so I told him, Dad, I'm a big girl now. I ain't need your help. I can do it on my lonesome.
What did he say to that?
Have at it then. And he handed me his favorite wrench, the one he used for the canner. He's probably half as tall as I was.
He didn't scold you for talking back to him?
Nah, he was never like that. I always thought it was funny when I get indignant about something. Then he'd watch me do whatever it was, make sure I didn't get hurt, but he'd never interfere. I learned a lot that way.
I wish I could have met him. Anyone who helped shape you must have been a special person. You've got a capable crew. That speaks well. My father and I were often at loggerheads. He had notions of how the station should be run, and I had others. He was fond of saying, "You think Groundbreaker pays for itself? Someone's got to cover the bills," when I chafed against his deference to the board.
Sounds like he was afraid of him.
He was, and he was right to be. Didn't mean I had to like it.
Isn't this swell? What about your mama? I don't mean to pry, you just hardly mention her, and I've been wondering.
She passed when I was small. Taught me how to change a fuse on her deathbed. Even sick, she was patient with me. She kept exhaustive journals of my childhood, my father said. Like she was A/B testing child-rearing.
Must be you got that exacting nature from her.
Exacting is a kind way to put it. Inflexible, my father would have said. Bull-headed. Cold. I appreciate you making the time for this.
I'm having the best time. If you're cold, then I'm the void of space. Cold. That's the silliest thing I ever heard.
Thank you.
Do return in one piece, Captain. Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix, they're sharing a drink upstairs.
So then I says, fine, I'll pay you back for all of it. With interest.
Nice one. You must have had them quaking on their heels.
I mean, I wasn't really gonna do it. I just wanted to make him feel bad.
Pay you back with interest. I gotta remember that one.
Would have felt better if it had worked. Captain?
Captain, I've been thinking. Something about this Harlow guy isn't on the up and up. Glad it's not just me. The way Harlow is leaning on his revolutionary bona fides, not to mention his knowing Felix back in the day, something about it feels off. I'm not suggesting otherwise, especially if Harlow's paying. I'm just saying we ought to keep our eyes open. Something on your mind?
We still going after Trask, boss?
I feel like running laps around the cargo bay. So she got here, and the first thing she said was, "Oh, you smell nice, like mock apples." And I was like, "Yeah, new soap." And then she just sort of touched my arm real gentle-like and called the cut of my outfit elegant. I couldn't hear the rest on account of my heart was beating so hard. Then I led her into the kitchen. I think she about cried when she saw the spread. She stood stock still and just said, "Oh, real soft." Oh, and let me tell you, I was sweating. And then she blinked and said, "Is that dustback casserole?" I told her how we got Mr. Raymond to bake it for us, so it was double authentic. Made by a real live monarch person. Well, we talked a bunch over dinner about the things we learned just through messages, stuff we repaired, how I taught her to salvage and she taught me to build. When I brung out the sweetheart cakes, June, she got a little teary, said she had a thing she needed to say. But I stopped her because I wanted to say it first. I never felt so bold, Captain. I told her about how she made me feel. Bold like I acted, strong, smarter and kinder than I am on my lonesome. I listed all the things I liked about her. And then she pulled out a paper and read a speech. She talked about the things she admired about me, like my cleverness and my humor, and how it made her want to be more open. Anyhow, when she wrapped up, I asked her to be my girlfriend. And Captain, she said yes! It's all on your account, you know. Imagine if you'd never taken me out of Edgewater. I'd have never met Junlei at all. I don't know nothing about the Vickers capital P plan, but you've sure changed my life. So, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna head to my cabin and happy scream into my pillow for like an hour. Something busted, Captain?
We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain.
This looks like the place. You ready to get my money or what?
I see you're still in one piece. However, you never know when that could change. Consider our accidentally torn into tiny fragments coverage. Note that all of your fragments must be recovered and must be smaller than a standard bit cartridge for the payouts to kick in. I remember that one. That's the young socialite who broke her neck, right?
Of course, no one remembers me for the marauders I've killed or the bits I've stolen. Typical.
That claim was airtight. Our best investigators couldn't find an exclusion for that one.
Are you serious?
Well, we interviewed the parents extensively. They had plenty of awkward childhood stories that illustrated their daughter's clumsiness and capriciousness.
Hey, those are entirely made up.
Furthermore, the claim spurred a whole line of fashion-related policies. It's become a very lucrative market. You can't, of course. Only Miss Fenhill can assign her beneficiaries. And she's dead. If we let every friend, relative, and acquaintance change a policy like that, people would do it all the time. Imagine the paperwork. Oh, you mean hypothetically? Well, hypothetically, you'd access the terminal in the back room that contains data on all our policies. And you'd, theoretically, add the beneficiary of your choice. But you wouldn't actually do that, of course. That would be fraud. Please, my policy only covers paper cuts and wrist strain. Very well, I'll do it. But then you've got to go. Confrontations like this will raise my premiums. I'll need the name of the new beneficiary.
Ellie Fenhill?
If you say so. The payouts will flow exclusively into the new account at the start of the month. I hope Ms. Fenhill enjoys her newfound prosperity.
We gotta talk.
really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it. I've never been prouder to stand back and watch someone else work. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs.
Come on, I thought we were celebrating. You want me to think about the future?
Maybe you haven't noticed, but you can't even count on a bribe making it into the right pocket. What's the point of planning for anything around here? Hate to say it, but Halcyon's already there. Anyway, enough of that. You did a job for me, so here's your fee. That's one thing I appreciate about you. Things are simple, straightforward. A job's a job and that's it, right? Yeah, never hurts to get a friendly reminder, though. You know, I think I get you just a little more now. Plenty of sense in that. You know, I'm thinking I ought to find another gig once this one's all done. One where I can really work on my own. Easiest way to take care of myself is to work with the one person I trust the most, right? Anyway, enough chit-chat. Something on your mind?